This is not a sponsored video. This is based on my own thoughts and opinions and my experience with the clothing. So here we go. Surprised that they did have a more rude crepe paper like cotton kind of a vibe, whereas this looks more paint smock. Hey team, welcome to today's video and welcome to my channel, or welcome back to my channel. My name is Hayden. As we get closer to Christmas, we're going to delve a little deeper into some gift ideas. Now, my previous video was some ideas for Christmas gifts or holiday gifts for loved ones, for yourself, etc., based on the things that I have looked at. One of them in the clothing area was Boohoo. Now, I have done a couple of videos looking at their stuff before, but I myself took myself over to the app after I did the video and I was like, you know what, I haven't checked out their things in a hot minute. So, of course, I went on over and had a look and there was some significant sales. This is not a sponsored video. This is based on my own thoughts and opinions and my experience with the clothing. We've got a bunch of stuff that we're going to look at today. I have liked some of their things in the past. Majority of the things are well constructed. They have lasted to this day after multiple washes. I mean, there has been some misses. Obviously, not every single fast fashion brand gets it right, and a lot of their stuff does end up in landfill. I am not an advocate for fast fashion, so it's one of those things where you've got to be very conscious of how and where you spend your money. If this kind of content is something that you enjoy watching, how about considering subscribing, hitting the notification bell, even sharing, liking or commenting? It does help the channel out. Now, I did order these pieces a while ago, so I'm hoping that what I have on my phone is correct, because I have been known to take screenshots of items and not order them, or order something and forget to take a screenshot. So here we go. A lot of these are discounted when I purchased them in the lead up to Christmas sales. The first one is training department loop back 5-inch regular fit shorts, 16 Australian dollars I paid in size medium. I have seen some comments on a lot of the clothing reviews that I've done in the past, and they have asked my height and my weight in order to compare against themselves. I am 5'7", I am not that tall, and I weigh 83 kilos. We have the skinny stretch jean in washed black, size medium. I paid 28 Australian dollars. Oversized V-neck dropped shoulder shirt in white, size medium. Most of everything is going to be size medium and the waist will be size 32. That was 28 Australian dollars. We have an oversized boxy open ladder stitch knitted shirt in khaki green, 20 Australian dollars, size medium. The basic slim fit short length jersey short, color black, size medium, that was 12 Australian dollars. And then lastly, the oversized limited edition heavyweight t-shirt in green. I paid $14.80 Australian dollars. We have it right here. Boohoo typically doesn't take that long for it to be delivered. In all of my experiences, I believe this is the third or fourth time I've got from Boohoo. It's around 2 weeks for it to be shipped out and in your hands. There's a lot of weight to the package. So here's some high hopes. I did actually order a lot. I already don't know if I like the look of this shirt, because in the picture, I don't believe it was attached here, but we'll find out. And then the last pairs of shorts. Now they're supposed to be short shorts, but these look quite long. We might actually start there. So we have the basic slim fit short length jersey short black medium. Now before we try them on and do the construction, I do look at the construction of clothing when I do a review. I am not a tailor. I'm not formally trained in the field. So I just go off how it feels and by using my eyes. When you look into how something has been constructed by turning it inside out, everyone can tell if it's been poorly made. There's usually unraveling if you pull on certain panels and things come apart. There's long threads, there's like bunching of fabric together. It's not a very smooth construction. So that's what we look at. Here we have the shorts out of their packaging. These are definitely not short shorts. In the picture, they look a lot shorter, like mid-thigh. but that's okay. I don't really like how it's got the fleece on the inside, that super warm, fluffy material. We will check out our construction. As usual, I'm not surprised. Boohoo typically does quite well in this area. Things are very nicely put together. Because it is black, it does make it a little difficult to see. You can see a T-section there where the waistband meets the front and the back panel, where it meets on the side. There isn't anything that's sticking out. You don't see any threads, you don't see any bunching, and even when you pull like this, there's no separation in the stitch line. Obviously we're going to go try them on and give them a red hot go. I just don't know if I like the shape of them. They kind of look boxy in my opinion. I know they haven't been put on the body yet, so it does change. Our body is spherical. I think I'm just thrown by the length of the short, expecting them to be shorter. But let's try them on. They are rather comfortable now that I have them on. Even though they're fleece lined, you can actually tell that they're fleece lined on your body. I don't feel as though they're going to be too intense and kind of make me overheat. They are what I expected. I don't particularly like the shape of them. They do look kind of boxy. So when I flip you around and you have a look, you can see what I mean. They don't fit to the contours of your legs. The inner seam on the bottom of the leg kind of juts in towards each other on both sides, and I'm not a fan of that. I also don't like how long they are. They are, however, comfortable. So you can see what I mean, how these two stick out, which I'm not a fan of. I would much prefer them to be slightly tapered like this. That being said, they are very comfortable. You can see there's a lot of movement. I don't feel as though anything's going to restrict. I had to tuck my shirt in because this is a super long shirt and you wouldn't have been able to see it. I don't feel as though anything's going to ride up. There's nothing poking, sticking, irritating in any way. I do, however, think that these probably won't breathe, and I will find out what they're made of. Okay, one down. And those shorts were made from 60% cotton and 40% polyester, which I'm surprised at. They did have a more They did have more of a polyester kind of a feel to them. I still have them on because they are very comfortable, even though I don't particularly like the shape of them. The next one is the oversized V-neck drop shoulder shirt in white. The one that I said at the start. I'm not sure if I'm going to enjoy it because it looks a little different to the picture. Because in the picture, it looks like it's going to be more flowy and crepe paper like cotton kind of a vibe. Whereas this looks more paint smock. We can't judge a book by its cover until we've actually opened it up. It's another thing I really like about Boohoo that doesn't have that stereotypical super cheap fabric smell when you open them up. First impression, now it does actually feel very soft, and you can see it's quite slinky. It does, in my opinion, look cheap, on the cheaper side. This is what it looks like out of its packaging. You can see it's slightly see-through. You can actually see me through, but I have had that before in the past and it's been fine when you've had it on. I do want to find out what this is made from. It is 100% polyester. Checking out our construction before we go and try it on. Again, I'm not surprised. Boohoo does quite well with how their pieces are put together. We have the neckline where the collar is. It's a very, very clean piece of work. There is nothing at all sticking out. We'll do a panel junction. There's nothing. There's not one little bit of bunching all down the seam. You don't see anything sticking out. And even when you pull on two panels, there's no separation. All right, let's try this on. I definitely do not like this shirt. It looks cheap, it feels cheap, it's loud, it's see-through, and there is no movement in it whatsoever. It's also very unflattering. It makes you look like you're much bigger than you actually are, and not in a good way. There's absolutely no shape. It's supposed to be oversized, not a giant cube. You can see there's no give. That's as far as my arm goes. I can't get it any further because it gets caught across the shoulders. I feel like that this could potentially irritate my skin. I already am getting a little itchy from it. This is a hard pass for me. We have our first victim, but that's okay. Moving right along. The training department 5-inch loop back shorts in black. I'm hoping they are shorter. These do look shorter than the ones I'm currently wearing. They do feel a little odd though. Here they are out of their packaging. You can see that they are significantly shorter. There are some threads in this one. And I'm not sure if you can see the light filtering through. Oh, now got them up to my nose. These do have a smell to them. They are made from 65% cotton. I am surprised at that, and 35% polyester. I would have went more with a polyester kind of a vibe, but that's all right. Once again, the construction, I don't see any alarm bells. Even when pulling on the panels, we'll take a look. You can see the waistband. It is a rather thick waistband, like it's quite high. That's the entire waistband from here all the way down here to up there. But you see the panels, even when we pull on them, there you go, you can actually see the light filtering through there. Now I do think that was designed because they're fitness shorts for air to get through. But even when we pull, there's no separation. We go all the way down the inseam of the leg. We see our first one right there. This one is a little messy. As you can see, that is attached. So when I slightly pull it, it doesn't unravel. So there's that at least. Let's try them on. Even though there was some threads coming out when we were checking out the construction, these are a much better, more comfortable fit and more the kind of cut that I personally like. There's still a lot of movement. I like that it's tapered against the thighs. It doesn't feel like it's going to irritate, and it also feels like it's going to breathe. As you can see, they are shorter. The other ones were down here. They are quite snug against the thigh, but there's still lots and lots of movement throughout. At first, I didn't really like the raw edge, but I do now. I think it gives it a little bit more of a grit kind of a feel. Let's just hope that it doesn't unravel as we progress through its lifespan. Okay, so it's 2 for 1. Let's go back to the top half and fingers crossed this one works out. We have the oversized limited edition heavyweight t-shirt in medium, the khaki green color. First impressions, it's quite soft. Feels like cotton. Let's find that out together. Here we have the shirt, oversized shirt out of its packaging. And just from the back of the neck, this one looks a little rough when we get to the construction. Doesn't have an odor. We will check what it's made from. 100% cotton. So there you go. Checking out a construction before we go put this one on and see what it's like. On the inside, it actually looks pretty good. You don't see anything here, even down the seam, which I'm surprised at, because if there were going to be stuff-ups or messiness, you would expect it to be on the inside where it's not visible, but it's actually on the outside, on the back. Up the top, I mean, in my opinion, the stitch isn't even in a straight line. We've got all these bunches of threads, and then around where the tag is, and then off to the other side. I mean, that's the only thing that I can visibly see without actually scrutinizing every inch of it. The sleeve looks really good. I'll let you be the judge. Would that be a detractor for you? And it does look a little messy on the inside at the bottom of the garment on the right hand side, but that's on the inside, so you can easily hide that. Let's try this on. I definitely like this shirt. The one thing that I personally am not a fan of is the very high neckline. I do like it to be a little bit more relaxed than this kind of a priest vibe it's going for. The rest of it, I never really was into oversized, and I liked things to be a little more fitted, but I am enjoying this era. Here we have the shirt. It actually pairs quite well with the shorts. Even though it is oversized, I do think that it is flattering in a way, because it does emphasize your chest and your shoulders. I mean, I think it could be slightly more tapered like this, and it would still have the same effect rather than so loose. You can see there's a lot of movement. I don't feel like there's anything in this construction that could potentially irritate me, unlike that white shirt. You know that I'm into something when I come back on the camera and I'm still wearing it. This one is a yes for me. Apart from the high neckline, everything else about it I quite enjoy. We're gonna save the jeans for last, because if you've been with me a while, you know we don't really hit it off with south of the border kind of clothing. So that means if we're not doing the jeans yet, we're gonna do the open stitch cardigan. I still have that rust colored bomber jacket that I got from Boohoo in my first video. It's a favorite of mine, as well as the dusky pink oversized shirt. I actually use that, and that's my pajamas, I sleep in that. Here we have the cardigan, out of its packaging, I feel like it's got potential. I like the construction. It feels very soft. It doesn't have a funky smell to it. I like the buttons. This is made from 100% acrylic. Check out our construction before we go and try it on. There's a little bit of weight to it when you're just holding it from the collar. Would lead you to believe that it's could be possibly made from a wool type material, but it's not. Construction looks good. It's a little hard to tell with knits. We'll check the front and back panel where it meets on the shoulder. Obviously, when you're going to pull on the garment, there will be separation because it is a wide knit. But doing this, you don't see it in the sewed places where there's going to be where it's pulling apart. You don't see any loose threads, even as we trace it all the way down to a T. There is nothing there sticking out that's potentially going to unravel. Let's try this on. Now that I have it on, it's not as heavy on the body as what it does when you're holding it up by the collar. I actually think I've fluked an outfit. These three pieces together go quite well, and they are very flattering together. I like that it's kind of flowy. Obviously it's going to breathe because there's a lot of gaps in the wide stitch. It doesn't feel as though where it's rubbing against my neck and around my arm that the fabric is going to make me break out, itch or anything like that. It's quite comfortable on the skin. There's a lot of movement and there's no shrinkage when you stretch it out. It kind of stays that way for a little bit. It's not going to instantly snap back like elastic. Here we have the cardigan paired with the oversized shirt and the shorts. I'm a fan. I quite like the three of these together. Which means we have the jeans left. First impression, they do have a denim-like feel to them. They don't feel as thick as denim. I would be highly surprised if they were denim or had that in them. There's no smell to them. I do like the way that they look instantly. I can't see anything without having a deeper inspection that raises alarm bells. Here we have the jeans out of their packaging. Just check out the material, what it's made from. I'm surprised. It's 98% cotton and 2% elastane / spandex. So it does have a little tiny bit of give to them. You know, here's hoping that we have a winner here. We'll check out the construction. The buttons it's a button up. It's not a zip and a button scenario. It's got metal buttons. Let's see on the inside, that's metal, it's not plastic. The work around where the button is, the fly, you don't see anything that could possibly, when you're pulling, it's gonna fall apart. There aren't any gaps. I don't see any bunching of material. Look around the pocket, the seam there. When you pull, there's no separation. We'll look at the inside of the waistband. You don't see anything along there. No threads all the way through. And it is quite thick. I have had in the past denim-like material where it's very thin and it's more spandex than it is anything else. So here's hoping. Let's try it on. This would have to be a first for me and on my channel. I instantly really like these jeans. I know, don't come for me. Skinny jeans have had their moment, but I'm still into them. I really like how they accentuate my legs. I spend a lot of time training on them. I really enjoy the cut of these jeans. I don't feel as though anything is going to be irritating me. They feel good quality in the places that will get more wear, so around the knees and around the waist. And they're actually quite flattering. And again, they go very well with the cardigan and the oversized shirt. Here you can see I've got them on, the skinny jeans. They fit very nicely. There's a lot of give to them. It doesn't look ridiculous in a sense that they're kind of shimmery. It literally looks like denim. Let me know your thoughts. What do you think? We have 90% success and a first on this channel. I will link everything down below if you want to go check them out for yourself. Let me know your experience. I'm always interested to hear if it's the same or if it's different. Thanks for watching, team. Make sure you do all the fun stuff and most importantly, stay tuned.